Hello everybody, Acre of Love Homestead here. Today is Sunday and we are going to pick some tomatoes. Let me see if I can get you high enough here. Woo, there you are. We're going to pick these tomatoes because they are getting split. They're splitting. Let me show you. So they are splitting. And this either means one of two things. They're getting too hot or they're getting too much water. So it has been raining for the past couple days here and I haven't picked for probably a week. So it's time to go ahead and pick the tomatoes, and we're going to pick some peppers and maybe some basil. I'm not quite sure because I have some basil drying already. But we're going to go ahead and pick some of these, and we'll probably just go ahead and put these in the freezer. We'll freeze them again. That way we can have some good stuff for the winter. So I like to have fresh veggies whenever we make soups and stuff for the winter. And we make like caldos de pescado, you know, fish soup and, you know, stuff like that. So these are good veggies to put in there. And I don't want them to go to waste. Don't want any of our veggies to go to waste at all. There's quite a few in this bed right here. We've got the great big slicer. Those are good for tomato sandwiches. I'm gonna leave that one. He's not quite ready just yet. Well, I'm gonna have to probably go on that other side over there just to be able to get those. I guess if I put my basket down, it might help. And I don't want the bugs to start getting them whenever they're split like that, because they'll start going for the juicy part. And I don't really want them to eat my vegetables. This one has a lot of Roman tomatoes. What I might do too, well, on some of the good ones, I'll probably put a, well, no, because I don't have the stand open right now. I had somebody messaging me the other day about if I had any stuff available, and she caught me at the wrong time. I had just put everything in the freezer. Might message her and say, hey, I got some stuff if you want to come and purchase it. See if there's any down here. There's that one over there, but I'm not quite ready to pick that one. Then I got one down here on the ground, which is really big. Let's just hope nothing. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it because it's splitting on that one side too. So, let me show y'all. So it's starting to split. I picked this one. It was kind of down on the ground, but you see that big split that's right there? It's got a big split, and I'm pretty sure there might have been an ant or something eating it. You know what, I don't care, I'm gonna wash it. I'm still gonna use it. Check our tomatillos over here. They got a lot of blooms on them, but I don't see any more tomatillos. See if any of these are ready. A couple of them are. Yeah, there's a few that are ready. Bring y'all over here. You're kind of far away. Sometimes I forget that I have a camera that needs to follow me. So tomatillos, they are not quite on their way out just yet, but they're probably gonna get close to it. They've slowed down a lot, and that's probably because of the heat. Things tend to slow down whenever it's really hot. And we're in July, so pretty sure a lot of stuff is gonna start slowing down. Well, that's funny, since apparently y'all took a nosedive. This stand I had is a tiny bit flimsy. See if y'all take another nosedive. Rocky's over there eating crickets. For whatever reason he wants to eat crickets for, I don't have a clue. Oh, don't you dare sting me, Missy. There's no blooms over here for you anyways, unless if you go to the tomatillos. So the bee was over here trying to say, hey, I'm hungry. These plants right here, I'm pretty sure they're getting ready to be done. They gave me quite a bit. They did their job on this homestead. Surprised the rabbits haven't come over here and tried to eat these like they did my watermelon. I was really heartbroken about that. It was either them or it was either rabbits or the chickens. I'm gonna say it's the chickens. Maybe the rabbits started it and the chickens finished it. So I gotta be on chicken duty, and all them chickens are gonna get put up. And whoever gets out next time, they'll be freezer bound. I need some chicken in my freezer anyways. I'm trying to wait till fall. I do have a couple of rabbits that I'm gonna put in the freezer. I have two that are ready. I believe they're ready. So that'll at least be some white meat in the refrigerator. Or shall I say in the freezer. Little tiny tomatillo, but I don't want that one. Looked kind of weird. Well, shoot. If this one doesn't give a whole bunch, because it does not have any more, hardly any blooms on it, I might just go ahead and pull it. Because at that point it's just a wasted space if it's not giving anything. Whenever I could be prepping and giving it, you know, putting something else in there. I am going to start some fall seeds. I'm going to start some fall seeds here pretty soon. That's the wind. Rocky, is just the wind. Don't worry about it. None of our bell peppers seem to be ready just yet. So, I'm going to turn you around this way. We're going to pick these that are right here. Yeah, I probably should have picked all of these sooner, but that's okay. Pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and pick all the green ones that are on this one, and I'm going to pull her because she's dead anyway. So she has some tiny ones over here, but the whole plant itself is just, it's a goner. For whatever reason, it's just a goner. So we're going to actually pull her, these two, actually it's two of them, I'm going to pull them out. Maybe they just didn't get enough nutrition, maybe they got too hot. Whichever reason, they need to be pulled out. Stick them right there. Give a chance for something else to, like this one, she'll probably be on her way out here pretty soon too. No, y'all can't see me because of that tomato plant that's right there. But I'm gonna bring you around here. So I pulled two tomato plants that were in here. I pulled them out. They were dead. It's time to go. It's time to start mending this. At least this one. If that other one decides to be on its way out, that's fine too. We're in July. We're gonna be coming into August pretty quick. It's gonna get hotter and hotter. All right, guys, so that's what we got for today, and we'll see what else happens. Hello, everybody. Acre of Love Homestead here. Today we are in the kitchen. This is Tuesday. Well, today is Tuesday, but I didn't do a video for Monday, so we're gonna intertwine the two. Today we are going to be talking about ways to harvest, like ways to preserve your harvest. So I picked some tomatoes, a little bit of bell peppers, and some jalapeños. And today we are going to preserve them. I've got my chopping board here, and I've got my water here because we're going to water bath can some of this stuff. And I got my, fixing to make my vinegar and water solution for the jalapeños because we're going to do some canned jalapeños. So I need to get a knife, and we need to wash off some of this stuff. Let's see. Let me get a good knife here. We're going to go with this one, although I think I'd rather have this one, but it's not sharp today. So I'm going to go with this knife here. But we're going to take these out. Now, whenever you harvest your jalapeños and you want to can your jalapeños, you don't want to can squishy jalapeños. You want them to be pretty firm, like these are pretty firm. So you want them to be firm because that way they don't get too mushy whenever you do can them, because they're going to, get soft whenever they're canning. But you don't want them to be real squishy. Like you wouldn't take one that's, like all old, like maybe 5 or 6 days old if it doesn't stay hard. You don't want to use those. I am going to add in these red ones this time. I didn't do it the last time, but I am going to add in these this time. Some of these tomatoes have split and they're causing gnats, so it's time to get rid of them. Now, we may not have a whole bunch of jalapeños to do today. We might just get 1 or 2 jars. I do have my jars already, or my water for my jars to sanitize them. So once that's ready, I got the water up, I think, a good amount. Not quite sure. I'll have to look at it again. But in the meantime, whenever we're chopping these and waiting on the water to get hot enough, maybe we can do some tomatoes. All right, I need to make my mixture for the vinegar and water solution. So you're going to take distilled white vinegar. It's a 5% acidity. You're going to take 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar, and you're going to take 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. I'm going to use Himalayan salt. I'm sure you could use canning salt, but I'm going to use the Himalayan salt. So let me get over here and do this right quick. Whoops. Okay, so we need 2 cups. And typically if you don't want to use sink water, you don't have to. My Berkeley don't have anything in it at the moment. So we're just going to go with this. Whoa. And typically it doesn't seem like 2 cups of water would be enough. But you're also going to add the 2 cups of vinegar also. And worst case scenario, I may add a little bit more, you can't take out any after you've got the solution going, but I might add a little bit more water. So that's 1 cup. And then that's 2 cups. Actually, I'm not going to change it at all. We're just going to leave it just like that. Now I'm going to add my Himalayan salt. It's 1 tablespoon of Himalayan salt. So 1, and then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of sugar. Oh no! My container fell. 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then you're going to mix. You're going to mix it together, and you're going to let it, you're going to let the sugar and the salt dissolve in there, and then that's whenever, you'll be ready, let it come to a boil, and then you start adding up your chopped jalapeños. So I'm going to mix that right quick. Martina, be quiet. Just want to mix it around just, a little bit, because it's going to dissolve anyways in that water. And like I said, you're going to let it come to a boil. It doesn't have to be like a strong boil, but it does need to come to a boil. I'm going to wash these right quick. Now, I don't put any pesticides on my garden. So if I didn't want to wash these, I guess I didn't have to. But you never know what flies over or what's been crawling on it. See, and those even sound crunchy. Let me wash this one right quick. Oh, I need to see. Yes, I did turn that up. All right, so we'll deal with tomatoes next, but right now we're going to do these jalapenos. Now, this is very time consuming. So if you don't like chopping up stuff, this is a very time consuming project here, guys. Take off the little stems. I keep my little stems. They go in the compost bucket, and then later on they go out into the actual compost pile. Hopefully our compost pile will have, I put a whole bunch of stuff in it, I think day before yesterday, whenever I cleaned out the refrigerator. So now I'm not quite sure how much we actually get. I don't really typically measure too many things, but whenever you go to measure, you know, your water to distill, your distilled water or your distilled vinegar to your water, you really need to, you know, make sure you measure that, because you don't want to do something and then it go bad sitting on the counter or in your pantry or wherever. These jalapenos smell a little spicy. You might wear gloves if you're dealing with super hot jalapenos. These are not super hot jalapenos. Although I did make a salsa the other day when I made tacos, and that was pretty spicy. I don't know, maybe because these jalapenos have been sitting out there for a minute, not quite sure. Well, there's more in here than I thought there was. I think our gardening season is actually going to start coming to an end. I've said that various times in various videos that I've made, but I really think it's going to be getting really hot, because we still have July and August to go through, and I don't know, we'll see. Gardens tend to die out whenever, you know, it's super hot like that. Okay, so we have all of these, all the little stemmies taken off, and now you're just going to cut them. You don't want to cut them too thin. If you like your jalapenos thicker, by all means, you know, you can cut them thicker, but I wouldn't do them too thin because they do get squishy. Whenever, like I say, whenever they're canning, they do get squishy. So I'm just going to eyeball it here. See how many I can cut at a time here, make this go a little quicker. Whew. And you can add, like on another batch that I did, I added carrots. You can also add garlic. You can add cayenne peppers, I'm sure, if you want, you know, your jalapenos to be a little hotter. You can add onions, you know, just anything you want in there. This batch I'm just going to make them plain Jane, because I don't have any carrots at the moment. And I don't know if I'll put onions in it. I'm not quite sure I want to put onions in it, because my husband likes them just how they, you know, just how they are. So he's not a big onion fan. But he does like carrots, so I put carrots in one of them. See, that one I think was getting ready to start turning color. Well, just let's hope that I don't here in a minute rub my eyes or something. I've done that. Holy moly, that was hot. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, you aren't cutting the ends off of the jalapeno. I'm not cutting this off. I don't use pesticides in my garden, and usually if you use pesticides, typically they get down in this part, and that's on anything really. The pesticides will get down in this part. I don't use pesticides, so I ain't worried about it. The only pesticide thing I use is marigolds, which my marigolds did really good this year too. And technically it's not even a pesticide, it's just a flower. Now, whenever you put these down in your solution over there, your vinegar to water solution, you're going to let them boil until they get like a pale green. And whenever they're a pale green, that's whenever they're ready to go into the canning jars. When we get to that step, I'll show y'all what they look like. And my husband says that these taste just like the ones from the store. So we're going to take his word for it. If not better. I mean, clearly homegrown stuff is, you know, going to be better than probably anything you can get from the store. Wish I had some more of them red ones. I thought this was going to take a little bit longer, but clearly it's not taking that long at all. I think we're going to be done chopping before the water's ready. That's okay, we can move on to something else. Now, my tomatoes that are sitting over here, I've already made a lot of pasta sauce. And I don't want to make too much pasta sauce. Because we don't eat a whole bunch of pasta. Now, if y'all didn't, okay, so let's get back to the jalapenos. So if y'all didn't want to actually can your jalapenos, y'all could put these in your freeze dryer. I have this. Y'all can put these in here. It's a sealer, is what it is. It's a vacuum sealer machine that I have. Or you could, if you have one of those freeze dryers, y'all can put them in there. Eventually, I hope I want to get one of those, the freeze dryers. They're just kind of expensive. I can't afford it right now. But I froze a bunch of jalapenos and tomatoes too. I would like, you know, I want to have some stuff from the garden through the winter. The less I buy at the grocery store, the better. Alright. So, we have all of our jalapenos. We have all of our jalapenos chopped up. I'm going to rinse this thing off. And my bucket for my compost is actually outside, so I'm just going to push this up. Don't typically need that again, because my tomatoes, I actually freeze them with a stem and everything. Alright, so while we are waiting for our solution to be ready, we're going to, I'm going to show you how I'm going to harvest, how I'm going to preserve my tomatoes here. Alright. Alrighty, let me check this. It's not to a boil just yet, but the water is actually ready for some jars. We'll leave these jars in here for about a good 5 minutes, because these are brand new jars, so technically I guess I could have just washed them in good hot water. I'll put my timer, 5 minutes, start. I guess I could have just, you know, like I say, wash them in some really good hot water, but it's better safe to be than sorry. So, I'm trying to find my, where's my box of my canning stuff? I really don't like when I can't find something. There it is. Hopefully it's got the tool that I'm looking for. So I bought this little canning kit off of Amazon a few years ago. And it has all these. I need to buy a new one of these because my magnet is lost. But it has the bubble, the tongs, the sealer. Like if you don't want to, you can seal it with that. And then the way you take out, the little mechanism that you take out of the jars out of the water. Couldn't think of what I was doing. See, my little thing is missing the little magnet there. That's to take the lids out. But I do need this, and I do need my debubbler. And I got this one. Don't know where my other one is at the moment. Turn that solution up a little bit. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to preserve our tomatoes. And this right here is just a sealer. It's a food vacuum sealer. And then I buy, like I say, I buy my bags separately. Now I get this big box because I typically go through this big box fairly quickly. It's got this fancy cutter on it. So it has the fancy cutter on it. I like that. And all of this stuff I actually got off of Amazon. So I don't know if I'll link it down below because I've linked it before, I think, in another video that I've done. But you can get all this stuff on Amazon. So that's done, and it seals it really good. See, nothing's happening. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually not going to wash these. I'm just gonna stick these straight down in this bag. I don't really want moisture to be too much down in there. Although sometimes whenever I do this, this sealer is really good and it like sucks all the air out of it. And sometimes it'll bust my tomatoes. But you know, as long as it's in a bag, where's it gonna go really? As long as it's sealed, can't really go nowhere. So what we're gonna do here, and hopefully y'all can see this. Yes, okay. Just making sure y'all can see it. We're gonna put this back down here underneath these little flaps. It's got two little flaps that you put the bag underneath. Close it real good on both sides. And you're gonna hit, you could probably do this as moisture. So I have a moisture and a dry. So I'm gonna do these as moisture just in case. Hit the vacuum seal button. See, this one, some juice came out of this one. So it's good to do the moisture on it. And it takes a minute. Can't say this ain't time consuming because it is. And there you have it. You just preserved your tomatoes for the winter. And what I typically do, I'll write the year and what it is at the top. And then they go straight in the freezer. And it's not very hard. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have quite a bit of tomatoes this year because my garden did really well. And we can use that in the winter for soups and, you know, stuff like that. And we do it all over again. And then my, I will cut these up into slices like for fajitas, and I'll just put them in one of these too. Now, I do need to tell you one thing. If, let's say you have all of your tomatoes in here, and this part right here didn't seal all the way because maybe there was something right here on the sealer or whatever, it's going to let you know. Because the other day I did something, and I think it was tomatoes, and it wouldn't seal, and it wouldn't seal. And I was, well, what is happening? Well, I hadn't got this, it had like a little hole in it, and it can't seal good if it's got a hole in because it's just sucking in more air, so it's never going to seal on its own. So you really need to make sure that this sealer is on there the right way. Okay, now our timer went off. We're going to take our jars out, sit them on the counter, make sure they're hot enough, yes. I probably could have waited to do that because my solution still isn't to a boil just yet. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Come on. I mean, and typically I guess you don't have to have it to a boil. It just needs to come to a boil whenever you put your jalapeños in there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just put mine in there, my jalapeños in the solution, since my cans are ready. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to bring y'all over here, because I want y'all to see what I'm doing here. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. So I have my jalapeños, and I have my solution here. And I'm just going to dump these down in there. Aren't those pretty? And like I said, you're going to let these come to a boil until they are pale. Once they're pale, they're ready to come out. Yep, they'll be ready to come out once they are pale. So that right there is what that looks like. And I'm pretty sure I could have added a little bit more water. We'll see how this goes. Got my lids also getting sanitized. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get back to our tomatoes, guys. This stand, I'm still learning this stand because it's new. So I'm still learning how to maneuver it around. The little thingy doesn't flip this way, so I can't flip it and show y'all, you know, like stuff that I need to, like if I bend you over this way, I can't. That stand doesn't do it. And that's a big one. I think I'm going to keep that big one out because I'd like to have a tomato sandwich later. I had a loaf of bread, homemade bread that I made in the freezer, and I pulled it out to make me a sandwich later. Today I'm actually going to make some bread, so y'all be ready for that. I think I'm just going to do 6 on this one. Those are bigger tomatoes, and I don't want the tiny ones to get too squished. Vacuum seal. Get another bag ready. And there we got another one. I really like this vacuum sealer. Now I do have another one, but it's for I have like it has like a little mechanism on the top, and you can use it for vacuum sealing your jars. I believe I have a video of that. I'll have to look for it. That sounded kind of off. Yeah. So that right there, I'm pretty sure is going to be a prime example of what I talked about earlier. So it didn't seal right here because I didn't push this side down all the way either. So now what I got to do is I'm going to see if I can cut it with this. See if it'll let me cut it with this. If not, I'll just get a piece of scissors, a pair of scissors. I mean, yeah. So we'll start all over. Got to remember to push down both sides. There we go. And then we'll stick some more tomatoes in there. I'm going to add a little bit more to this one. We'll see. Yep. Check on jalapeños. Not quite ready just yet. That's okay. Well, there we go. Like I say, this is a little time consuming, especially if you would have like a lot of tomatoes. I only really have the 2 methods of being able to save my tomatoes because I don't have a freeze dryer, because you could always put them in the freeze dryer also. But unfortunately, I don't have one of those. I mean, you can always can them also. I didn't can tomatoes this year, which I could have done that. If I actually get another round, I think I am going to actually can some. But I don't have hopes for getting another big round. Like I say, those tomato vines out there are almost on their way out, which that's okay because we're able to get ready for the fall garden. Because I think I have like 3 jars of canned tomatoes in there, so. The white powder, if you're worried what that white powder is, that white powder is actually diatomaceous earth. It's non-toxic. It's a natural, like a bug killer. Like I put it in for my roly-polies, so don't think that it's, oh, there's something on there. No, it's just for roly-polies. Come on, you got this. All right, now I'm gonna do this little bit of tomatillos and some green, what's happening here? And some green tomatoes. I always save the red ones. I don't ever save these. I don't know why. It's a tomato. Oh, we'll put that red one in there too. And I think all of these little small ones, I think I'm actually gonna give those to the ducks. What happened? Did it seal? Didn't make the noise. I like these little tomatoes. They taste great. I will be buying those next year. Okay. Whoops. Get in there. Where are you going? There we go. Those sunburst tomatoes taste good. Okay, and that's how we harvest our tomatoes. Just need to put a date and what they are on it. And we'll put them in the freezer. I can't put them in that one. It's got a lot of stuff sitting on top of it, so I'll probably put them in the one outside. I'm gonna find my marker. So what I usually do is I put 20, 25, and then tomatoes. I don't put them by what they are. I mean, clearly I can look at that and say that's Roma tomatoes. Like this one too. Tomatoes. These are 2025 tomatillos. Tomatillos slash green. Abbreviation tomato. Green Tom. 2025 tomatillo slash green Tom. I hope Tom's not green, whoever Tom is. And these are slicers. I will put here that these are slicers. Okay. Another round of mix. This is like a mixed tomato. It's a tomato. I mean, you're going to either use it in salsa, pasta, fried, however you want to. Mixed tomatoes. Okay. I'm actually going to put these in the freezer outside, and I'll be right back. Get out of here, bee. I really need to do a freezer clean out. That's what I really need to do. Ooh, I can smell them jalapeños. They're starting to turn pale a little bit. I'll bring y'all over here and show y'all they're starting to turn pale now. And that's the color that you want them, is that pale color, pale green. See how they're starting to turn pale green? Whoopsie. Once they're all pale green, you're ready to pull them. And whenever we can them, we're going to put them in our jars. We're going to put them in our water bath can, which is not USDA approved. So do your research before you start following what I do, if you follow what I do. Yeah, so they will actually sit in that water bath can for about 5 minutes. Let's actually, I'm going to cut these up. That way we can get it out of the way already. Bring this back over. I'm going to do with my knife. Can I put it in the sink? Yep, right there. Okay, I'm actually going to cut these. Now I've been saving, let me bring you all around this way. I have been saving seeds from these. I have some seeds over there and some marigold seeds too. But I don't think I'm going to save this round. It's not a big deal. I have quite a bit. And these are kind of on the smaller side, so I'm not sure if I want to save seeds that are small. I'm just going to chop these up. We'll put them in one of them cedar bags and it'll go in the freezer also. This is just a simple way, if you don't can, this is a simple way to just get you some stuff in your freezer, in case of an emergency or in case of, you can't get to the store and you're like, oh, well, let me just pull this out of the freezer, and it's better to grow your own food, I think, anyways. I try to grow as much as I can and, preserve as much as I can. I'll take you on a minute to go see the room where we keep our stuff. It's not over-exaggerated amount of stuff, but I do have some stuff. My canning journey didn't start until I think last year or the year before. I always froze everything. So my canning journey, it didn't start. So I was really new to canning. My mom canned, and I should have paid more attention because that woman, she had a whole bunch of stuff. Like we probably could have lived underground for years if we had to. But she had all kind of stuff. Didn't make very much. I could have made that bag smaller. Whoopsie. And this one's going to be for dry, so we'll swap it. Put that over there. Uh-oh, something's wrong. So typically when you hear that noise, there's something wrong. So stop, pull it out, see what's happening. Let me move that little piece of whatever that is, because that could be causing the issue. I can't say that these sealers are perfect, because by any means, nothing is perfect. Well, I wonder if I didn't close it right. No, it's closed. Nope, let's try again. There it goes. I just had it too far down in. If you get it way down in there, or if it's really stuck together, it doesn't do it. They're kind of tedious, don't get me wrong. There we go. Come on. There we go. We got you some bell peppers to make fajitas with. Find my marker again. So 20, 25, and then this is bell peppers. You can always put 4 fajitas. There we go. It wasn't a lot. Now I did preserve more of these. Don't worry about that. I did preserve more of these. Okay, now these are pretty pale. The red ones are clearly not going to get pale, which is fine. I mean, you can let them sit in here and get a little bit more paler. You can turn up the heat, which I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Get my canning jars over to this side. I may have to stick them back in there again, because I don't want anything to crack, is what I don't want. Well, that water is going to be warm enough to go in there in the first place. It'll be fine. Hey, be quiet. Yeah, hush. I need to find my spoon. Well, maybe not. Oh, there it is. Handy dandy spoon. I'll tell you what, they smell spicy. Whew. They really smell spicy. So I think I'm gonna let that go on for about another good 5 to 10 minutes, and then well, I'll bring y'all back and I'll show y'all the end result, guys. Alright guys, so I went on ahead and I pulled these. Now I only got 3 jars out of that little bit of jalapenos, but hey, that's really good. Right now I am actually doing a debubble. You want to do this just in case, that way it doesn't get too much pressure inside of your jar and it explodes or breaks. We are fixing to pull out our lids and put on there. You also want to get you a little towel or a napkin, and put you some vinegar on it. And you want to clean your rim with some vinegar. And let me tell you something, whenever I was putting these in these jars, guys, I was coughing up a storm. So these jalapenos are actually hot. I was coughing so much. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Hot, hot, hot. I mean, what do I expect? It did come out of a pan of water. When you put your lid on, do not force the lid on. You just want it kind of finger tight on there. Just kind of finger tight. Now these jars, I'm a little newer to these jars. I did when I was doing something, I don't remember what I canned the other day, or a couple weeks ago, not the other day, but a couple weeks ago, one of them busted. I think it was these jars. No, actually it was not these jars. It was one of my little jelly jars. So our water is good and hot. And we're going to stick these in here. Whoa, I didn't think I had that all the way. This little jar right here, I'll just put this in the refrigerator. It doesn't have enough to fiddle with, so I'll just put that in the refrigerator. But right now, we're going to turn this up, and we're going to put about a 5-minute timer on there. Actually, I'm not going to do my timer yet. I'm going to turn this up. I'm going to let it come to a boil, and then I'm going to put my timer. And this we're just going to put a lid on, and I will either combine it with another one that I have like this over there, or I'll just go ahead and put it in the refrigerator. So I didn't need all the jars that I pulled out, which is fine. Dry this off really well. Don't want anything catching mold. So I'm going to put that straight up to high. Get rid of our extra solution that we had. So see, sometimes you don't use all of the solution. To me, it's just to be better safe than sorry, to be honest. There we go. Now, I'm going to take y'all over to my canning, what I've been able to can. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to grab the bottom of this. It's so high. I really need to find me a stand that's compatible with a 4'11" person. So let me turn this on. Now this room, it contains a lot of different stuff. This is actually the pasta that I canned this year. We have our squash and our zucchini here. Here's some of our jalapeños that we've already done. See, this one has carrots in it. A lot of these might have carrots. Let's move this Pokemon stuff here. And these are my pickles that we did. And this jelly, these jellies are from last year. I haven't done any for this year just yet. I may not. So the grapes that I pick, I might just put them in the freezer. This I bought somewhere. This is my sunflower jelly. Isn't it pretty? Pretty sunflower jelly. Chicken broth that I save. And like I say, this is just from this year. This is what I've done this year. These are from last year. All of that's from last year. See, I still have a ton of pickles on that side. Potatoes, I still have potatoes. Lard, we still have a lot of lard. And then some of my dry canning stuff that's down on the bottom. So hopefully eventually I would like for this whole room to be filled with nothing but canned stuff. Now we do save stuff in these. There's rice and beans and noodles, I think, and all this stuff. And then I do save in 5-gallon buckets also. That's more like spices and stuff like that in there. Oh, and then over here we do get stuff from the grocery store when I can get it on sale. If I don't have, you know, like canned carrots or canned green beans, you know, stuff like that. We do get stuff from the store. And then some of our dry stuff over here. So we do, you know, we do what we can to keep food in this house. Let's go back over here and check on our water. So, okay, our water is boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and put our timer for 5 minutes. We'll wait our 5 minutes and then we'll pull everything. I'm going to actually try to sit y'all. Nah, I'm not going to do it like that. Got to figure out, like I said, I've got to figure out a stand that, there we go, where I ain't moving around so much. Don't want anybody to get dizzy. So while that's waiting its 5 minutes, we'll start straightening up the kitchen and wait on our jalapenos to be done. Those dishes in a minute. I really would like for my bread too. I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna need this. We don't need this. We need to wash it. Well, come on. I really like this sealer. It's going to be a bummer whenever it ends, because it wasn't a cheap one. I think I paid $50 for that thing. Yep, she's a boiling now. Got my bread laid out. That bread I made, probably a month ago. Been sitting in the freezer. Ready to make me a tomato sandwich out of that. So I went muscadine grape picking, and I got me a 5-gallon bucket of muscadine grapes that I need to sit out on the porch and take off the vine. I'm pretty sure that those I'm just going to put them in the freezer. Let me go show y'all. I don't want to bring that bucket way over here. Whoa. The stand is so long. But this is the muscadine grapes that I went to pick, and I'm not done this year. This year is going to be a good year because we got a lot of rain. So these are ready to be, you know, you can't eat these just like this. You cannot eat them just like that. They are too bitter for that. So you have to, sorry, I'm trying to walk and not fall. So you have to, make something with them, either wine or jelly or, whatever you're going to do. But they're too bitter. They're too bitter to eat like that. I tried one. It was no bueno. It was no bueno at all. But it makes really good jelly. Makes really, really good jelly. Been saving my dry basil that I got here. That's from my garden. Some sage, which I need to do some more sage. And then mint for my tea. So we harvest a little bit here and there, a little bit, here and there. Hopefully next year, once I get my back garden going, we can harvest a lot more. That's what I want. We got 1 minute, 9 seconds. Slowly getting there. Put all this in our little tiny bucket. I do keep a compost bucket inside the house. Right now it's outside because I need to wash it out. 52 seconds. We're getting there. Rocky, what were you doing? Was you outside? You were eating crickets again? Yeah? What's wrong? Eating too many crickets? Alright, so it's about 8 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and turn that water off. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. And we will sit these out on the counter. You want to sit them on a nice soft towel or something that you have. And that's what we got, guys. Move, Rocky, get out of the way. That right there is what we got. That's what we ended up with. 3 jars of jalapeños. They look like they're going to taste great. But guys, this is just a way that you can preserve your food. Put it on a shelf. It can last for, probably up to a year, I would say, the jalapeños. You might do a little bit of research on that, just in case. But, learn different ways to preserve your food. The more food you can preserve, the less that you have to spend out of your pocket. And hopefully one day that's going to be my goal. I'm slowly doing that now. But like I say, it's better to grow your own stuff than really to buy from a grocery store, because the taste is way different. It's way better. And food at the grocery store, they use pesticides. And that pesticides does go into your body. And a lot of people do get sick from it. But we did a good deed today. We got our jalapeños canned. We got our tomatoes put up. And we'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. See you later. Baby quail that hatched. There's 7 of them. Really excited about the baby quail. Walking by this sunflower, see all of these caterpillars. And they are munching on this sunflower plant. Munching. Hungry little caterpillars. And there's a wasp, some kind of wasp too. But he's supposed to take off this one of them. He's searching. See if he takes it. Getting ready to put these in the freezer. I'm not going to make jelly right away, but I am going to put them in the freezer and possibly make the jelly in the wintertime. Got a whole bucket of these muscadine grapes so far that we're going to process, and I guess I got 2 helpers that are going to help me. Hey everybody, Acre of Love Homestead here. I have an update on our building. So technically this video is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I've been busy on certain days. I was trying to do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of like that. But this video is actually going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But anyways, I have an update on our building. We have, we have lights. Woohoo! So that means that we are one step closer to getting our farm store open / Pokemon store open. We still do need to come through and buy the insulation. I'm going to get the insulation to put here, and then we're going to put some paneling on here also. So we are one step closer to getting our store open, guys. I'm really excited about this. I've been excited about this for a while. It's been taking a while. You know, you have to, save all your money and, do what you can to get your expenses. So we do have, so my husband is actually going to be on this side. He'll have his Pokemon set up on that side. And then we're going to get an AC to go in here. And we're going to have like a refrigerator and a freezer eventually. And we will be putting flooring down because right now it's just plywood. So I will be buying some flooring, hopefully. I want to get those mats that are on Amazon and put down here because they're fairly cheap. And I can always take those out and wash them. So I want to put those down on the flooring. So we are getting closer. I'm very excited about this. But that's kind of our update on our storage unit. Up here we will be putting, I'm hoping that on the roof we'll be putting some plywood to kind of cover up the empty space that's going to be up there. We'll kind of see how that goes. But I think we're going to try to do this on our own. I was going to hire somebody to come in and do it, but I think I want to try to do it on my own. That way I can save those expenses. Let me turn this light off since we have light. Uh-oh, too short to reach. But I would like to save on that expense. That way I can start saving for my greenhouse. So we have a plan for our future, for me to have a greenhouse and try to sell, some seedlings out of it, some plants, stuff like that. And also, for us to grow our own food, and as we do yearly. But that is, we're going to have a light outside. We're going to put a camera in there, stuff like that. I still got to get the ditch, still got to get the ditch in the yard put back together. Well, that's slowly coming along. I think we're going to call one of our friends to see if he can come and close it. But we're slowly getting there. The garden, I think is, like I say, it's probably coming to an end here pretty soon. Some stuff is doing better than others. I don't think I have any tomatoes out there right now, maybe 1 or 2. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Let me see if I can flip y'all around. You'll see that hummingbird. She's on the other side, I think, if she didn't fly away. Oh, I think she flew away. Oh yeah, she's over there she's way over there, right there. Oh, she's in the flowers. That's so cool. Don't know if she found anything, but that's really cool. Wonder where she's going now. Oh, back to the feeder. There she is. Well, that's very interesting. I could sit here and watch her all day. Alright, so all of these sunflowers that are behind us, they're coming out. I'm going to remove every single one of them because this area right here, I'm going to use it for my fall garden, which is a very big area. So from where I'm standing is one end, and then all the way down to the rabbits is the second end. So right here, this is where the fall garden is going to go. We'll see if I have any luck with the fall garden this year. Usually I don't have luck with fall gardens. I want to try again because this is actually really good soil. I mean, look at how many sunflowers grew here. It's going to be really good soil. The only thing I'm worried about is next year because I'm pretty sure some seeds from these may have fell down in there. Who knows? Worst case scenario, I'll get the tiller and till it all up, rake it all out. It'll be fine. But don't be, don't think, oh, she's gonna get rid of all those sunflowers. How pretty. Yes, they are pretty, but I have plans for them. So I'm going to be making some bouquets out of the ones that we take down. That way they don't go to waste. I would like to make some bouquets, put them out on the farm stand, see if I can sell some bouquets. I'll probably put them for like $5 each. And I'm going to add some of my zinnias in there also. But also the rabbits will be getting a lot of this. The chickens will be getting a lot of this. So it's not really going to go to waste. We are going to repurpose it on the homestead. Animals love it. Rabbits love them. Chickens, ducks, they all love it. Down through here is where I had my deal and stuff. And I really need to just kind of get all of this gone. Because I have plenty of sunflowers, as y'all can see. Plenty of sunflowers. They're everywhere. I think my neighbor is going to come over tomorrow, and her and her granddaughter are going to make a little bouquet for her granddaughter's mother. But I have so many sunflowers, guys. And the bumblebees are still at them. The bees are still at them. I'm not taking none of these down. I just want to take the other ones down. See, I'm going to take y'all. I think I'm going to add some of these zinnias into the bouquets. Because I have plenty. I have plenty zinnias. Nice and pretty. And they'll fit perfectly down in the middle of a sunflower bouquet. So I think that's what we're going to do here pretty soon. Whoa, I almost fell. Like I say, there's no strain or anything on sunflowers because there's plenty. Plus we still don't know if you can see way down there. That's full of sunflowers too. And then trying to see, tomorrow I need a mow also. So down there also. So like I say, there are sunflowers everywhere, and it'll benefit everybody on the homestead. I will definitely do like a small. I'll put a picture-in-picture in whenever I do the bouquets. That way y'all can see them. See if y'all like them. I think that'll be kind of neat. It'll be something different. I've never done bouquets. I did a couple on another video that I did, and people at work really liked them. But for me to put out there and sell, that makes me nervous. But a little bouquet is going to last 2, 3, 4 days. It's fine. Maybe people want to spend their $5 and give it to somebody. That will be awesome. Any extra money on the homestead is great. I have been catching them stinking chickens that have been getting that ate all my watermelons. So it's the bigger ones right here that were all out. I still have a few that are out. I haven't caught them yet. And I'm missing my little silver one. And there's a hawk been hanging around. So I think he got her, and he got my mallard duck too. Unfortunately, there's gonna have to be a way that I can figure out to put a net down there on that end. So my chickens are down there, and I need to figure out what I can put from this tree to the fence. I thought putting those lights would kind of deter it, but it's not going to do that in the daytime. That's only for the owl at nighttime. So I need to figure out something from here to here, because my little scarecrow, I don't think he's doing it no more. I'm trying to wait till Halloween comes around, because I'm going to buy like a flashing mask or something, and I'm going to build my scarecrow a little bit better. Excuse me, I have some better posts right here, and I think I'm going to make it to where it, makes a noise whenever something goes by it. That way it'll kind of scare it off. I may make 2 of them this year, actually. See, here comes one of the culprits now. She's like, oh no, I'm spotted. Yeah, I bet you are spotted, ain't you? Come on. Let me catch you. A little twerp. Ate my watermelon. I think that's kind of what we have for today, guys. Y'all like and subscribe and hit the notification button, and we will catch y'all in the next video. See you later. Martina.